Hey guys, welcome back to Decaffeinated Photography. I am Alex.
And I'm Josh. Today we're taking a look at the Polaroid 3200AF. Or as I like to call it, the Polaroid 3200 as
Polaroid are a brand best known for their instant film and instant cameras. So how do you think they fare in the 35mm market?
I don't know, Alex. Let's find out.
The 3200AF is pretty small and portable, but by no means sleek. The grey on silver makes it look exactly as it is, plasticky.
On the front, it has a flash button, a grip, and a lens hood, which essentially acts as an on and off button. The top of the camera has an LCD screen, which displays how many pictures have been taken on the current roll, as well as whether the flash is on.
And if red eye reduction is on or off. The unique feature of this model is the panoramic mode switch, which is next to the LCD screen. To the right of the screen is the self-timer button and the shutter release. So there isn't all that much on the back, with a viewfinder in the middle, the viewfinder adjustment dial to the left, film rewind button to the right, and it also has a little window so you can see which film you're using.
The battery compartment is on the bottom of the camera to the right, and it runs on 2 AA batteries, which makes it extremely accessible for today's standards.
So this camera is pretty peculiar in the fact that there's almost nothing about it on the internet. It's almost invisible. All you can find is the Camerapedia page, Polaroid's original promo document, and that's about it. I guess you could say it's almost as if it doesn't exist.
So, I guess you could say it's the worst instant Polaroid camera ever. Pretty much because it isn't an instant Polaroid camera, it's a 35mm. Oh, almost fell. We're out here at Lourdes Gorge. It's probably where it's going to be the death of me. Very beautiful. It's perfect for landscapes, perfect for nature photography. And that's pretty much where this camera shines. It's got a 28mm focal length. It means it's very good for landscape photography, but kind of average for portrait photography.
The Polaroid also has a fixed shutter speed of 1/25th of a second, so make sure you aren't shooting any fast-moving sports or wildlife. With this shutter speed, it probably means you won't get your shot 100% of the time. So it's definitely something you're going to have to get used to after a couple of rolls.
So the nifty thing about this Polaroid 3200AF is that it effectively has a automatic lens hood. Isn't that really cool? You press the button here, boop, and it opens up, boom. You don't need to carry anything around. It protects the lens, just push it back in. But getting to the main selling point of this camera is that it has a panoramic mode that you just switch up on the top of the camera. Why am I talking like this? Turn it back on. And through the viewfinder, it has a, it covers the rangefinder.
Is that a rangefinder?
I don't know, we always get comments, people always say that it's a rangefinder, not a viewfinder, it's a viewfinder, not a rangefinder. I don't know what's going on.
Just say, you look through the viewing thing.
Okay, you look through the viewing thing, and the 2 flaps show you pretty much what the panorama is going to be like. Yeah, I'm gonna take a photo. 1 second. So, with the panoramic mode, it actually looks very cinematic, with the black bars over the top when they develop it, and overall it just looks like a still from a movie that you would watch, maybe shot in 35mm. So I'm thinking, I haven't tried this personally, but I'm thinking the Cinestill 800 or Cinestill 50D might actually work really well with the panorama mode. So I think in theory, it should have a very cool effect.
Spot on, Josh. This feature is super cool. It's really nifty, and I think it's one of the coolest features that I've seen on a cheap 35mm camera in a long time. You don't really see it very often, and the fact that when you're shooting, it actually gives you 2 black borders that stretch the image, I think that is really cool. Definitely a selling point of this baby, and I really like it. Oh, you've zoomed in. Oh boy.
P.S. You just have to remember not to take portraits with this panoramic setting on. The images we've taken with this camera have all turned out great. The exposure is nailed, and it does really well in dimly lit scenes because of the flash. We did notice a little bit of softness at the edge of our scans, but that could just be a perk of our model.
So the Polaroid has an auto flash function, which makes it really bad for street photography if it's dimly lit, and for street anonymity. So
yeah, it doesn't really look amazing. I mean, you can agree with me there. It looks very cheap, but for what it is, the performance is actually really good. What is it trying to do there? For, I guess, $40, you can't really go wrong with, like, because we use the MJU2 quite a lot, and that costs like $200 more. It really holds up against it, I would say.
You're obviously paying more to get that like premium product. This one isn't weatherproofed, and you can't, like with this one, you can't turn off the auto flash, and it's definitely like not built as well. I think it's more similar to the AF35ML. It's pretty similar in that regard.
$60 less.
$60 less than the AF35ML. You know, this one you can't turn off the flash, and that's just such a big difference to the other ones. You know, that's about it really. The shooting experience with this camera is really surprisingly pleasant. All I want to do is grab the panorama shots that we've taken and just print them and put them up in my house and just make them really big. So basically, this camera does really well. It takes great pics, and
you get the added bonus of having street cred with shooting with Polaroids. And you can confuse all your friends by telling them that it's a non-instant instant Polaroid camera. So that's it, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye!
So overall, we think this camera did extremely well for its price point. As we do know, Polaroid are famous for their instant films and instant cameras. I guess it shows that they were more than capable of creating a great 35mm point and shoot without a big price tag.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't think Polaroid would be able to make such a good 35mm point and shoot with something that holds up with all the others.
Do you think that's because they have, like, you've never used one before, or like they don't really market it?
It's just that they definitely have potential in creating better stuff.
With the Polaroid Originals brand that's come along, the Impossible Project has brought them out, and
yeah, I really hope they don't just stick with instant Polaroids. They also go back to their 35mm stuff.
Keep an interest in the 35mm market, Polaroid, because you've done pretty well with this one.
This all just seems to be forgotten.
Yeah,
it's something that should come back, I reckon.
All in all, I think this camera gets the 2 thumbs up from us. 2
thumbs up, and if you can find it for a good price, like $40, or even, like, I reckon it's actually worth like $100.
Yeah.
Grab it.
Yeah, grab it.
Give it a go. I also want to thank everybody who subscribed so far. We're at 500 subscribers at the making of this video.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah, thank you very much. We appreciate every single one of you guys.
Remember, if you liked this video, if you enjoyed the content that we're creating, give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already.
And be part of our 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Thanks guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye-bye.